I am in my 30s, although I may look young, but no, I'm not. So I always have the feeling that my time is counting down. So today, I just want to have a casual talk with you, share with you some really important life lesson that I've learned and which I wish I have learned all these when I was still young. The first lesson, learn to filter opinions. When I was young, I always looked up to my parents, my friends, other adults. I listened to almost any advice they told me because I thought I was incapable. I lack of enough life experience to make my own decisions. So what they told me is find a stable job, work for the government. So as you grow up, your people circle will grow bigger and bigger. There will be more people who come to you advising you to do this, to do that, so you can live a happier life. But as I became older, I realized that most of the advice just doesn't fit me. Because the thing is, the advice is based on the values, their own experience, own journey. So these people are casting their beliefs on mine and try to influence my decision making because they think it's good for me. But turns out from my experience, it's not. If I mindlessly followed advice, I'm just living in the shadow. I'm not really living a life that I have wanted. I know the advice are for goodwill, but that doesn't mean it really fits me. Your family loves you, your friends care about you, they can guide you, but they will never understand the life journey that you're on and will never be 100% sure what is truly good for you. If I have the chance to go back in time, I would definitely tell my younger self, learn to filter different opinions and rather go deep with your inner self and more listen to inner voice, because at the end, only you know what's the best for yourself. No one will be able to make that decision for you. And here comes to my next lesson. Trust your intuition more. 99% of the time is right. I'm not sure if you have counted that before, so something just keep popping up in your head. Since I was a university student, it happens a lot. I always think I can do something on my own one day, starting my business because I feel that's the right path, but I didn't. I turned down that gut feeling. I rather do side hustles, side projects, side business, but not making them my own thing. It wasn't until in my 30s I finally have the courage to decide, alright, this time I'm gonna trust my intuition and to start my own thing. And guess what? I should have done this 10 years ago. You need to realize that you have these intuitions again and again. It's because your subconscious mind is giving you hints. It's telling you something. But at the time, your conscious mind is telling you not to feedback to these signals because your logical thinkings wants to protect you from failure, from dangers. So if you find yourself always have the same gut feeling in doing something and that keeps coming up, trust me, do it anyway. Do it immediately. Let your subconscious mind win your conscious mind because that your true desires from your deepest self. And my next lesson, don't consume values, create values. As I grow older and look at other successful people who are ahead of me, I start to realize you can only make an impact, earn status, influence, or wealth, or whatever the thing it is, by creating more values and also willing to give more. If we look at the society, 95% of people are consumers. They consume information, they consume products, they consume service, they consume values. But then there are 5% of people who desire to create values instead, providing solutions to people. These people will always stay at the top 5%, earning the status and wealth because they're creating an impact on other people's life. They're not passively consuming whatever information they feed, so they are building their own assets, making impacts to get the influence on people. What's more amazing is realize you don't have to create something really big, completely innovative to make an impact. So start giving out more your values, your insights to help other people who are behind you. Invest your personal branding and start creating an impact. So a book that I read called Get Lucky. Unfortunately, this book don't have an English version, but the concept is why some people, they always seem so lucky. They seem always getting so many opportunities. There's no secret. Just give more, provide more values, because the more you give to others, the more opportunities you attract. So this is the next lesson. Don't just read books. Make sure you use books. Everyone knows reading books is important, so I read lots of self-help books, utility books, but what I found is that only reading books will not change your life. You really need to use the books. Implement the ideas in your decision making, change your behavior, and start taking actions. Otherwise, these books are all useless useless. The best example is again this book I just mentioned. I can't say enough how this book has changed me. It's not about just reading its content, it's more about the actions I take based on this book. I have read this book at least multiple times to make sure I get the concept right, and it works. It's so good that I even buy another new one for my friend. Also, don't think you need to finish a book. If you think you can't get anything insightful to improve your life from that book, move on to the next one and don't get stuck on one book. Another important lesson that I've learned is never argue with people. If you really need to, don't tell, show. What I learned is that you can't really change people because of what you say. Even if I seem I win an argument, it just makes me look so stupid. So rather than thinking of saying something to argue or making yourself look like a winner in a conversation, think about how to improve yourself to get them convinced. All these years, I learned that you will never earn people's respect by words. You will only being noticed when you have done something great and keep improving yourself to a point that you become unrecognizable, that you're at a level way above them. So never play a low-level game to win over words. Aim higher. Long time ago, I was playing in a band when I was a university student. One time, my bandmate told me, "Your singing sucks." It's like I was out of breath. I was angry. I was emotional that I wanted to argue. But today, I'm glad I didn't, because without his critique, I wouldn't have started learning singing, practicing stage performance, publishing my own songs on Spotify, building my first YouTube channel. If that day I decided to argue with him and try to get privilege over words rather than taking action to improve myself, I would be so regretful today. Now another lesson is saying no more. Notice my wordings is not learn to say no more, it's really to saying no more starting today. When I was young, I don't think time is a thing because I got so much time to waste, to spend. I said yes almost to everything. If there is a party tonight, yes. If there is a new thing to try, yes. If there's a new opportunity that seems interesting, yes. I seldom say no unless I really can't make it. But as I'm older, I came to realize my time resources become so much more limited. I get more responsibility. I have my families, I have kids, I work, I have my own dream and passion to fulfill. But since I don't have enough time, I was struggling to keep all my promises and not to disappoint people. I was burned out. My energy has been used up to serve others' requests. And at the end, I found I got nothing left for myself and for the things that I really want to do. It took me lots of practices, courage to really learn to say no to others. It's very hard, but it's very, very, very important because I realized once you spend that time, it's gone. It's completely gone, that you have no way to get it back. Rejecting things that are not worth doing. The reality is when you say yes to something, you're actually saying no to other things that may be important. It's an equal equation. So be really, really selective to just few things that help you to achieve your life vision. Other things are just distraction and you should eliminate them at all costs. Now, whenever there's something coming up my way, I would think twice before committing because I found this hyper-focused dedication, commitment is what truly makes me live the life that I want. And if you feel guilty, sorry, because you think you're rejecting people, here is my next lesson. Have the courage to be disliked. You can't please everyone. Probably this is the biggest one if I were to go back in time and tell my younger self, never try to please everyone just to be liked. When I was young, I felt very insecure and always want validation from others. I thought if I say yes to other people, pleasing others more, so in return, I will be liked more, be respected more. I'm afraid to reject people and saying no to people because I'm scared that I will lose a friend, a connection. But as I grew up, I start to get confused, get lost, that I start to questioning what's the meaning of all that. I came to realize I've been living in others' shadow and I need to be my authentic self. And since I act in my own way, be true to myself, everything changed. I became more confident and believe in myself more. And the best part is I start to attract the people who also share the same values, same energy as me. Remember, not everyone is meant to be in your inner circle. So as you grow up, your circle will get bigger. Don't try to please everyone and act in a way that contradicts in your values. Rather, act in a way that is true to yourself, because at that moment, you will start attracting the same people to your own circle. It's game-changing. Another important lesson that I've learned, there's really no rush in your life, and please be patient. In my younger age, I was super impatient. I was always in a hurry, super workaholic, getting the most done within the least time. I wanted to prove myself, especially because I'm a woman. I don't want to look weak. We want success. We want it so bad that we want to achieve it right now. I was trained to be constantly delivering results, outcomes, sales, leads, growth. There's just no room for patience. I need to have good status, good career, buy a house by 30s. I've done all this, but now what? Am I be more fulfilled? Is it the end of the story and then I'm living happily ever after? I thought it was, but it's not. It's really until I start working on my own, making my own decisions, slowing down, only doing things that are necessary. I came to realize there's really no rush in your life. You're gonna enjoy the life process slowly, kindly, patiently, because only this way you can go deep. Like how I run this YouTube channel, I know that's a long-term game. I don't rush, I'm not chasing followers, just keep improving. One video after one video, and I got to enjoy the whole process because now I know when the time is ready, it will come to you. Another lesson that I've learned is that a choice that is true to your authentic self is a good choice. Perhaps you have heard about choice matters more than hard work. Everyone knows choice is important. I learned this when I was young, but what I didn't know is what is a good choice? What defines a good choice? We're all afraid to pick a wrong choice because that statement only becomes true if one makes a good choice, right? It was only until I reached my 30s I truly understood the meanings behind this statement is that at any moment, if you're making a choice that is truly authentic to your heart, at that moment, that is a good choice. You're not trying to make a choice simply because of someone's opinion, you try to meet the expectation, but only because you choose to be true to yourself. Then that is a good choice. And what you need to do is you also work very hard on it, and now it becomes an excellent choice. You may argue, no, I probably would have made a wrong choice because I don't have enough life experience. Yes, you will. You will fail. I also fail a lot. So now let me share with you this last lesson. It's really a big one. Don't just hope for success, but also hope for failures, struggles, and setbacks. I know it sounds crazy, but I realize the truth is we can only improve and grow to the next new level if we're willing to fail and really embrace failure with optimism. Because if you don't, you will never know what is missing in your life that can actually take you from here to there. Recently, I came across a speech from Jackson Wang, and this is what he said.
Greatness is not intelligence, as you know. Greatness comes from character, and character isn't formed out of smart people, it's formed out of people who suffered.
I just can't say enough how I can relate to this. If your life has been so smooth, very successful, no obstacle, your growth curve will be linear. Versus if you have failure, setbacks, you learn the mistake and you don't give up. The breakthrough is almost guaranteed to happen at some point. It's for sure. And now your growth curve will be like this. Exponential. Whenever you fail more and keep learning, and more breakthroughs there will be, and the fastest you can get to the next highest point. So now I truly treat failures as a growth catalyst because this is the only way that I know exactly how and what to improve myself next. If you like this video and find something that is resonating with you, please let me know in the comments. We all have different backgrounds, different paths. I really want to hear from you. What was the best part that you liked from this video? Also, watch my other videos about overthinking if you're constantly over-worrying about your life, living in all these people's shadow. Thanks for watching. I wish you all doing great. I'll see you next time.